majority.
Yo, welcome to Majority Report, your podcast for the culture from the agency built by culture. I'm here with the team who's going to introduce themselves today.
John Wright, Associate Strategy Director.
Oh, I never introduced myself. OJ, Art Director here at Majority.
Jeremiah, Associate Producer at Majority.
Cherie, your grandma's favorite stranger and Art Director.
And we're gonna skip our usual pleasantries and get right to it because we're here with the team at MODA, the Museum of Design in Atlanta. We're gonna be talking with them about an exhibit that holds close to the Majority spirit. But before that, please welcome Laura and Miranda.
Yay.
Hi.
Hello.
Talk to us about how you feel about the current exhibit and how you came to be at MODA, actually. Let's start there.
This has been a very fascinating exhibition, honestly, because who thought that a simple garment could be something so profound? I actually started at MODA 4 years ago now, which is crazy to believe. And my background is originally in history and anthropology, but it ties in very nicely with the fact that when it comes to these exhibitions, we're not only exploring history, but also the impact they have on culture.
Hey, I'm Laura. I'm the executive director here at MODA, also co-curator of this exhibition. I've been with MODA since 2011 when we moved to this awesome location in Midtown.
Nice. Can we get a little brief history of MODA? I was doing some background and I saw that this was the International Art Museum, and then they changed the name back in 2023 or 2003. That's a whole double difference.
Sure.
What's that little brief
So
history?
MODA was founded in 1989 as a different institution. It was founded just before the Olympics were coming to Atlanta by a group of people who looked around and thought that our arts and culture institutions in the city didn't adequately represent everyone who lived here and everyone who was coming from across the world. So they began to work with embassies and consulates and put up exhibitions downtown in the Marriott Marquis complex that looked at the arts and design of different cultures from around the world. So we were called the Atlanta International Museum of Art and Design. Really long name. Over time, we became the Museum of Design Atlanta. And then in 2011, we had the opportunity to move to this Midtown location. And when we moved, one of the things we did that's been really important to the growth of the museum is to establish a definition of design that governs everything we do, from exhibitions to programs to youth education. We think of design as a creative process that inspires change, transforms lives, and makes the world a better place.
It's really interesting that you bring, not to get in my history bag, but the fact that you brought up the Olympics. And that's 30 years ago this year, the 96 Olympics came to Atlanta. And all that to say, it was like a huge transformational period to the city. Like, you don't get where we are today without that. And I didn't know that MODA was a part of that. Like, you hear about Turner Field, and like Turner Field was built for that and a couple other places, but I didn't know that. And that's, guys, that's just interesting Atlanta history.
It's Atlanta history right there.
Like, yeah.
No, seriously, I'm glad we came here as an agency too, because right away on the website it says like the only museum of design in the Southeast, which was striking to me even after being here. I just didn't notice that. So yeah, things like that are important to be in museums like this. It's really cool to learn and find out.
Especially with a lot of culture that goes out into the world, it starts here in Atlanta. So to have something like this is really nice to like see where it kind of started from. And I know when we went through the exhibit, and I know we'll probably get to this, but you talked a lot about them not kind of starting this exhibit here in Atlanta. They were like, well, why do we want to bring it here? So we'd love to hear y'all thoughts about like really bringing this hoodie exhibit here and what that meant for you guys.
So we were inspired to create this exhibition by an exhibition that was in Rotterdam in the Netherlands in 2019. They did an exhibition on the hoodie, and we thought, wow, that's really cool. So we reached out to them and asked them, could we bring that exhibition to Atlanta? And the curators generously said, we don't think that our exhibition is the right one for Atlanta because the culture there is different, because the hoodie probably means something else there, but why don't you invent on it? And so while their exhibition was very fine art oriented, we took it and really tried to adapt the exhibition to be about design and the fact that everything in the world is design, including hoodies, and design decisions that are made about hoodies engender other decisions that are made about hoodies, and all of this impacts all of us on a day-to-day basis.
I'm also person here but knows the least when it comes to like fashion and design. So preparing to hear
As a
the least
designer,
for me.
as a designer.
It's a hoodie onesie. I don't even. I was like, oh, there's a hood on that. And actually, fun fact, because I have one of the pieces here at home, and I saw it and was like, oh my God, like.
Which one?
The Kin brand that has the satin-lined hoodies. I have that exact. It's the zip-up version, but. That was really cool to see. So I was like, I'm gonna wear this. It should count. It's a onesie.
Counts.
But yeah, I'm gonna expect to hear the least from me because that's why it's a onesie. I'm not fashionable. Whatever's easy, that's what I have on. And Cherie knows. She be on me.
What was the process of adapting the exhibit for America? For Atlanta? What was that process?
We started by really trying to figure out where the hoodie came from. So defining its history, and then began to ask ourselves, this is a simple garment. It's recognizable whether it's a onesie or not a onesie. We recognize all of those things as hoodies because they have the same basic elements. And so we understood, I think, where the hoodie is now in the world, that it can be anything to anyone, and that it functions as a billboard, a way of staking claim. It has so many messages it sends. We also thought a lot about the murder of Trayvon Martin, which in part happened because he was wearing a hoodie, and that's something that became very associated with that event. But we wanted to know what fills the gap between when the first person thought of creating a hoodie in the 1930s to Trayvon Martin, and then where the hoodie is going now. So I would say that the questions that we asked were about history. They were about the meanings we've ascribed to the hoodie over time and why and how those came into being. They were about all the roles that the hoodie plays in our world today, depending on what it looks like, who makes it, who wears it, where you wear it, all those kinds of things. And then we wanted to ask some very specific questions about the hoodie in Atlanta. And so we worked with Dr. Regina Bradley on that to define the hoodie as an important part of hip hop and trap music in the city. Also, we thought a lot about the organizations and the companies that are really productively using hoodies in town to claim parts of Atlanta's culture and say, this belongs to us, we made this is what's important to the world from Atlanta, all those kinds of things.
So you guys have a Grady Baby hoodie in there. That is like peak Atlanta. I heard like as soon as the baby is born, they give you the sweatshirt, the shirt that says Grady Baby on it. And like if you are from Atlanta, you have to be born at Grady apparently. So
I did not know they gave you the Grady Baby.
Yes. They take that very
That's
seriously.
amazing.
And then you outgrow it, so you have to go buy another.
Exactly.
You're supposed to frame the baby one and put it up in your house.
Yeah.
I lost it when I saw the snowman hoodie, because like 2005, like I just remember being in school and how much of like a hot topic that was, the fact that it got banned, all that to say like the level of like cultural nuance, especially like at the latter half of the exhibit, was just like, it was heartwarming because people miss those details, like, and I'm assuming that's why Rotterdam said, do your own version of it, because like people really miss those details, but it's so important to like how the city developed.
Mm-hmm. I think this exhibit is important too, because to see like the practicality of how something started and then watch the history shift as like a culture adapts it is, like you said, like heartwarming and fascinating as you're walking through this hallway here. So yeah, this does a really great job, especially like with this piece that's behind us that we should also get to, but yeah, it does a good job of like practicality, culture, boom. Yeah, nothing.
What were some of the standouts? What are some of the standouts to you all personally within the exhibit?
Honestly, I think one thing that I really love, going back to the idea of like what a hoodie can mean to different people, is our hoodie library. Because I love that each individual one represents a memory or a moment or something important to people. And it's really cool to see when people walk through and they see these different stories and what they mean. I think that brings it together. They're like, oh wow, this is more than just a jacket. This is something that has significance. Mm-hmm. And I think that's, that's a really cool thing and really personal thing for this exhibition that I really enjoy.
And we should say that the hoodies in the hoodie library are lent to us
Yes.
by people who are members of the MODA community, including Majority,
Yes.
Who brought their hoodie culture and hung it up for us. I agree with Miranda. I think that one of the things that surprised me that I didn't know about that Dr. Regina Bradley brought to this exhibition, and I'm so grateful to her, is the conversation about what hoodies have come to mean in comics since the death of Trayvon Martin. I was unaware of the fact that Black comic heroes and superheroes had reclaimed the hoodie as a force for good, as a protective garment, when clearly it meant something else in the murder of Trayvon Martin. And I find that to be such a deliberate and powerful claiming of a garment to counter things that are happening in our world that I am fascinated by it.
That makes you want to ask right away because I'm unsure on the timeline. Because I think about Luke Cage, and was Luke Cage like did that
was
show
during
come
the
out?
time, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that season.
Luke Cage like in the hoodie, was that after or before?
It was after.
Okay, so yeah. To her point, I was like, oh yeah, I immediately think about Luke Cage and how he was Black superhero. The show was a big deal, so that's really
And I think
cool.
his hoodie is impenetrable by
Yeah,
bullets.
it's bullet- yeah.
So yeah.
Even with
It's
Spider-Man.
his body that's impenetrable. But he always does wear that hoodie. Like they brought that in because that wasn't a part of the comics until I think right after Trayvon. That's when he started running around with the hoodie.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was.
What'd you guys like best?
You said what we learned?
Yeah. What did you guys like the best?
So, okay. The funniest thing was the champion piece because like one of my favorite pieces of advertising that came out last year was a champion piece where they talked about Virgil Abloh because he basically printed most of his early stuff on champion hoodies. I think that, and then the piece about Rocky, I never made that connection, which was really interesting because that was another like big cultural flashpoint where it's like, oh, okay, so this movie helped propel the hoodie to a different place.
Yeah.
And the fact that like athletics, because I got my master's in sports management, which is nothing that I'm doing now, but that's okay. Still love sports. And I still try to bring it in what I can, but the fact that like it started off as just like something for athletes and like athletics, and then it kind of just grew into something that was bigger than that, because of course sports has its place in culture, but like to see it grow from the Rocky movie and be like, oh well, I want to wear one too. I'm not an athlete, I don't box, but like that's cool. I want to wear one, and I feel like Rocky, So
Right? Like it always made you feel cool from like athletes, now the fashion piece. Yeah, it's a really cool thing to own.
Every school has a hoodie. Like when you play basketball, football, it does not matter. You're gonna get a hoodie in your kit when you play. So.
For me, I think one of the standouts was the Green Arrow, the little bit about Green Arrow, because I used to love watching that. I was like, oh wow, that aspect of it being a hoodie. It's more so the hood, but I'm like, no, it actually is a hoodie, like the whole aspect of that. And like following that up with like the superheroes that we're talking about. I thought I was like, oh, that's super cool. Cool. Yeah.
About that, and there's also the character from what's that? So Watchmen with
Oh,
she has her,
yeah.
Watchmen.
That's another great. You're right. It's a huge.
I love me some hoodies. Like any type of cloak or a hoodie type thing, I love so much.
We need to put immediately an image of Jeremiah.
I got a
in
new little
in
hoodie.
his fashion.
I got a new little hoodie like 2 days ago. So,
In Ireland?
No, not in Ireland.
Okay.
I got it in out in Tucker.
Nice.
Tucker, yeah.
You didn't wear it today.
Well, it's not-
And I said this morning,
the brain
don't
did not
forget to
click.
wear your hoodie.
I didn't see
not
the text. I didn't see that text.
Follow the mission.
I did.
I was gonna say we should take a quick break and talk about our hoodies, because like, what's the story behind the hoodie you have on?
So this is a hoodie by Round 21. It's kind of like MODA, where they blend together art and sports together. I used to work for them. They are great. Shout out to Jasmine, that's my girl. You can follow them on Instagram at Round 21. But they do a lot of different exhibits similar to MODA, where they just take culture and try to infuse it with other things as well. So that's why I really like the mix of art and sports here, because that's me in a nutshell, basically. So
Nice.
That's what I wore
You used to
today.
work there. What about you? What's your hoodie story? Got a little solid green over here.
Solid green. I mean, the story is just comfort. I'm not gonna shout out the brand. Shout out to the brand, but I won't shout them out because we're not
We're
sponsored.
getting paid.
But no, I mean, hoodies are the reason I love fall, because it has so much utility. So I can just, case in point, I was on the way out the house and I had a different hoodie on. I was like, nah, I want to wear the green hoodie because it's more comfortable and it has a hood. Being bald, you need all the, you don't realize until you cut your hair. It's like, whew, that wind cuts. But yeah, comfort.
Hoodies, bald Wildman, yes.
I do have a hoodie story.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I didn't wear it. I think it was 3 or 4 Christmases ago. There was this, it was during 2020. There was this Instagram profile called Heartbreak Social Club or Heartbreak Club. And they would take like old cartoons and they just make really neat, like heartfelt little like clips. But they ended up making a whole like clothing line, and so they had a black one and a white version. So for Christmas, I got my sister the white one and myself the black one. So sometimes you'll see us like wearing the same hoodie, just in different colors. And I've had that thing for years. It's one of my favorite hoodies. And I think they ended up going, like they stopped. So like I have one of the last hoodies from the Heartbreak Club. Yeah.
And then I guess for me, we're talking about fashion and like the meaning that these have in culture and everything. But when I'm thinking about hoodies, I am very practical, which is probably why I appreciated watching the transition, because my hoodies are messy. I wear them kind of like for comfort. I have a hoodie I got in Amsterdam that I actually really like, but it just became something like I'm putting this on because I gotta walk the dogs. I'm putting this on for whatever. So I like experiencing the fashion part of it and being like, dang, my hoodie game is weak. I would love to have more pieces like this in my closet that I care about, and not just like, I'm eating lunch and I like get something on there. I'm like,
New Year's resolution.
So that's why I was like, oh my God, thank goodness I like Ken, because this works and it's not messy. So yeah, that's my experience with hoodies.
Do you guys have a?
Yeah, I was gonna.
Funny enough, the Design ATL hoodie that we got for this exhibition is, I guess, technically my actual first pullover hoodie.
Oh,
Wow.
congratulations.
Listen, part of it is just I'm a bit lazy when it comes to having to get those things off and on, but it's kind of cool that, like, you know, this has been such an amazing career for me, and this is something I've always wanted to do, is work for a museum. And now my first hoodie I got for working at a museum. I love it. So treasuring that one, I do actually wear it.
I think I have a couple of hoodie stories. One is that a couple years ago, my partner and I, for Christmas, made individualized hoodies for everybody in my family. So we often have a Mexican dinner on Christmas Eve, and so we made a custom hoodie for everybody, and everybody represented one food. Like, so, and we also did it then the next year for Italian food. So my brother-in-law's hoodie says garlic bread.
Nice.
And just really funny things like that. So sometimes I get texts from siblings or in-laws saying, I was just out in my garlic bread hoodie. And 3 people commented on it. Another favorite moment for me happened during this exhibition. Just before the holidays, we created what we called a 100 Hoodie Club. So we designed a black on black hoodie that says design changes everything, which is embroidered on the front. Oh, we should fix that.
Yeah. Oh, we love to keep in the real.
Great. I'll start again. Okay. So just before the holidays, here at MODA, we created the 100 Hoodie Club. So we designed a black on black hoodie. It was black embroidery that says design changes everything on a black hoodie. And it just has a little red MODA logo as the dot for the eye. We dropped 100 of them and charged $100 for them. And so there are 100 people who are part of the 100 Hoodie Club. Mm-hmm. And on January 29th, we're going to have the 100 Hoodie Club event here. We're putting a red carpet down in the hall and bringing a photographer in so people can wear their 100 hoodies and have their photo made and have a cocktail.
I'm extremely jealous.
Yeah, I wish I would have seen that.
I'm extremely jealous. Because it sounds, I mean, the way you describe it's well designed, I can tell. I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It is lovely, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And then I want to go ahead and ask about, this piece was a part of this large hoodie. Can y'all tell us the story behind this and how it fits in here?
So this was actually created by a sculpturist. She works in Miami. And her name is Billy Graceland. And she actually created it shortly after the murder of Trayvon. And she wanted people to reflect on why this happened. And she figured creating something this large and this in your face, I believe it's 26 feet tall, you can't help but notice it, and you can't help but have a conversation about it as you sit there and marvel over it. So it's a really moment of reflection. I think we're only the second place to actually host it, because it is a pretty magnificent and very large piece. But it's it's kind of fun when I do tours because that is the thing. People come back there and they're like, wow. And then this is the photo spot. Yeah, this is where people come and they can't help but notice it and talk about it. And so it really does, it's kind of an amazing piece because of that, because you're going to look at it, you're going to marvel over it, and you're also going to reflect. So it's a really, really powerful thing, honestly.
How tall is it actually?
26 feet?
28,
26 feet.
26.
Yeah.
It is definitely massive and looming, and like you said, you have to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's in your face. Also, like you said, Marvel just now, because again, Luke Cage popped up in my head. I think this looks just like the kind of hoodie that he's wearing as well. So, just saying, Easter eggs, guys, Easter eggs.
Marvel is good at this.
You know, sponsor us.
Yeah, come on.
Hey.
We're here for it.
Girl, imagine.
Curious, so kind of a silly random question, but during the exhibit, we had a conversation about the difference between a hoodie versus like a hooded sweatshirt versus, where do you guys fall in that debate? Like, is it a hoodie if it still has a zipper? Is it just a sweatshirt with the hood, or is it a jacket? How do you kind of make that difference?
We definitely had this debate.
Yeah, we might still be having this debate.
Yes.
We had to think a lot about that when we were curating the exhibition. And I think where I came down, maybe slightly unwillingly, is that a zip sweatshirt with a hood is still a hood.
Okay.
People might disagree. I don't think the dictionary entry says differently. So that's important.
They can argue in the comments.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know, Miranda, where do you fall?
I agree. I think if it is a zip up with a hood and has the pockets too, I feel like that makes it still a hoodie.
But then there's a distinction you have to think about, like, because you might buy a down jacket, right, that zips up and has a hood. And to me, that's not a hoodie.
Yeah.
So there's some fabric
Yeah,
considerations.
material matters.
There's some style considerations that I would think about.
Yeah.
We kind of came down on the "you'll know it if you see it" argument.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Like if the feeling hits you. Yeah.
We're
Like,
like,
Like a hoodie.
if you're like, oh, I gotta grab a hoodie, you're not gonna grab a down jacket. You're
Right.
gonna grab
Exactly.
the closest thing. Or like, okay, so with that, is a sweatshirt technically a hoodie?
Without a hood?
Well,
like a crew, like a pullover.
because some people call that, they're like, oh, I gotta grab a hoodie, and they'll pick up a sweatshirt.
Well, that's wrong.
No, they are. No, they're insane. They're insane.
They need to check their language. Yes. Have some precision.
You heard it from the experts, guys. It's not a hoodie.
They don't get to do that.
And it's in the name, hoodie.
Literally.
Since our piece, because the majority hoodie is officially art now, but it's behind us, and we want to talk a little bit about what it actually means to majority and why we're excited that it's here, because we have this, sweatshirting day? Where, once you come in, you should definitely speak on this too, because you can probably.
Oh, I mean, so long story short, one of the founders of our company, shout out to Omid, is a huge hip hop fan. And a lot of times when you join record labels, especially like back in the 90s, they would do something more or less called chaining day. You would get a chain from the label like, hey, you're officially a part of the team, yada, yada, yada. So with majority, we don't do chaining day, we do sweatshirting day. So the day that you join the agency, you get a sweatshirt. There's a number on the back that signifies the year that you joined. So I have a 23 hoodie. All the founders have like 21 hoodies, I think, because that's when it was founded. But yeah, and then across the front, majority, and then it's like this peach color because based in Atlanta.
And I should say, I thought about it just now, because we're having a debate about the crew neck. Is it just called a crew neck, right? With no hood?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Unless it's a V-neck.
Unless it really.
I love me a V-neck. I love me a V-neck.
I think I know what we're saying. But a similar debate, not debate, but at majority, we have some that don't have hoods and we have some that have hoods. So yeah, it got to like, well, we want the one with the hood on it. Like, that's the sought after style. So that's why I thought about our situation with majority as well. But it makes sense because not just sweatshirting day, because of, you mentioned Omid and his inspirations and all that, but it just works for us being this company, again, like built by culture and like people from all different walks of life, and this hoodie being like what unites us, and it feels rebellious and different, and it's very fitting.
I think it's interesting too because particularly well, first of all, it carries so many messages, as we know. But during the pandemic, athleisure went crazy, right? And we all became hoodie wearers on our couch or wherever. And in a way, maybe you could interpret it as a kind of homecoming, right? When you join the company, you're getting the most comfortable of garments. They're not giving you a blazer or
Like a polo or something.
like that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
something that you feel at home in and comfortable in. And I don't know, to me, it almost seems like a really genuine message of welcome.
Yeah, that's a really, really great way to look at it. That was sweet.
And I like the juxtaposition because I know you have a piece in the exhibit where you talk about Mark Zuckerberg wearing a hoodie to, I think it was an investor meeting, I believe. And so just to kind of show that like, he didn't have to wear like a suit and tie, and it was very just like, people were calling him out for it, talking about, oh, I'm professional, but like, what really is unprofessional about a hoodie? Everyone wears one. You know, if you really want to dress it up, you can put some heels with it, you know, do your thing. But like, just the juxtaposition of like, being in corporate America advertising and then having to be able to wear, you know, a hoodie to work, or just having that be a part of the culture at work is really cool.
I think he was really deliberately breaking those rules to send a message about who he is and the kind of work he does. So,
And I don't know if y'all did you see what was going on with like the whole quarter zip social movement that just happened this past year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's again, funny to be here after seeing that movement happen, and like, what's the quarter zip branding and what does it mean if you wear one? Because minus the hood, it's this whole different persona. And we had a whole episode like going crazy about that. But it's like the hood changes everything.
I said, that's what y'all need having next, a Nike Tech, because that has the hood on it.
That's
So, yeah.
So on that subject, because we're all getting, well, I'll speak for myself, I'm getting a little old. You know?
I feel it.
you want us to bring your cane out?
They low key try to like.
We do,
keep-
We do.
But no, I'm curious to know, like, when we visited the exhibit, one thing I was telling Laura is I didn't know how popular like Young Thug's Spider hoodie was. So curious to know, are there any other like standouts where when people come in for field trips, please book a field trip here, by the way. Are there any other standouts where like the youth kind of gravitate towards, where it's like, oh wow, like for our generation, it might have been Supreme, or it might have been, you know, just Champion in general. Like, what are they seeing that's a little bit different from what we see?
The Bape one, the Bathing Ape by Nigo, that's another one.
That is interesting.
Yeah. And
Okay.
actually, it's funny because I've seen that design. It's very distinct. It has like it looks kind of like a shark kind of vibe to it with the teeth.
Full zip on
Yeah,
it.
full zip up.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
seen it
yeah.
everywhere. I had no idea what it was until we had it in the exhibition. I was like, it's that. I see this all the time. And yeah, that's that one and the spider one. Those are the two.
That's so crazy because Bape was like 2005.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's been around a
it's
long time.
researched a lot.
Wow.
Because it's predominantly younger people, like, you know, high school aged, maybe teenage age, that I'm seeing, probably into early 20s too, but like I see it everywhere.
It came back.
Yes.
Wow.
Fashion, it does it.
I see slightly older people who are really interested in the anti-AI hoodie.
Yeah.
The one
I've
that's
seen
printed
that.
with lots of faces to confuse facial recognition technology that I see a lot of people who are like, whoa, I didn't know you could do that. And then they're like, maybe I should get that.
I've seen that too,
It'll
yeah.
become a necessity in all of our closets. Like, if you don't have that, you just don't care about your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does give me hope for the future. Not to put on my tinfoil hat. No, I mean, you know, there's a lot of surveillance around, and like seeing that hoodie was like it kind of honestly just reminded me of the power of art. Like, you know, everybody realizes that surveillance is just a part of everyday life. Even in Atlanta, you got flock cameras, all kind of stuff. And for an artist to think of a way to subvert that, to get back to the idea of privacy, was just like really interesting. And to use a hoodie to do that is really genius.
Is there anything, I guess from everyone, not just like team here at MODA, but is there anything that we haven't called out that you want to make sure people know before they come to this exhibit, or just an important call out for the hoodie? Tell me the line. It's the hoodie, the protest.
Identity, power, protest.
There we go. Yes, I love that so much. Is there anything important to call out for it?
I mean, one of the things is that it's open until February 13th. So at the end of February 13th, the evening of February 13th. So there's some time, to come. There are a lot of programs associated with this. So for example, a lot of the kids who are coming in for field trips are sitting down and designing hoodies, and we're talking to them, you know, about basic design principles and trying to give them some of those skills. because everybody wants to start a streetwear brand, right?
I might try to do that.
There are lots of programs coming up also, not for youth. So conversations, we're gonna have a conversation early next month with a lot of the makers, designers, organizers who are here from Atlanta, like Grady Baby Company or Atlanta Influences Everything or Eastside Golf, about what streetwear means to them, but then also what they're trying to claim in Atlanta and what they're trying to accomplish. And then Dr. Bradley is coming back also in early February to have a conversation at one of our wine and design events. So grab a glass of wine, look around or take a tour of the exhibition, and then sit down for a conversation with Dr. Bradley, and she's gonna be talking about the hoodie and comics. So her conversations are often wide-ranging and conversational and really fun to be part of.
Cool. And where can people sign up to come to these events?
Check out our website, which is museumofdesign.org.
And then do you happen to know what the next exhibition is going to be?
I do.
A little sneak peek.
Sneak peek, y'all. So when this exhibition comes down, we'll close for a couple weeks to install, and we will be showing posters that received distinction in the U.S. International Poster Biennial, which is a competition that invites people to submit posters on particular themes, and then they have a very high-profile jury that looks at them and selects the award winners. So they had about 12,000 entries in 2025. So we'll be showing probably about 100 of those posters. So they are on social issues. They are about the national parks. There are some animated posters. So looking forward to sharing those award winners. Beautiful. Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, no, seriously.
That's like my favorite type of design is posters. Yeah.
And anything else from the Majority Report team on the hoodies here? I do want to talk about the art that we made that's around the corner, but before I do that, I want to make sure there's no other questions from us on this.
I mean, maybe Miranda, do you want to talk about the fact that we always have an interactive and what it is?
Okay, great.
That's probably one of my favorite things, the exhibitions. We always theme out it interactive so that people can be a part of the exhibition itself. This one is where you get to design your own hoodie. And so we have all the materials on the table. People can come in and basically put whatever matters most to them. Some people are like, oh, I'm gonna theme this out around my favorite cats or my favorite characters, or they put very very amazing and sometimes very powerful messages. Either things that inspire people or inspire them, or things that matter to them. So it's really fun to see that wall just grow and grow and grow as the exhibitions go, and to see how creative people are. It's always one of my favorite things at exhibitions.
Wow, and there's always a different one. Whatever's
it's always themed to the exhibition theme, basically.
It's super important to us that people are able to help shape the experience here, right? So it's one thing for us to curate an exhibition or bring in an exhibition that someone else has curated, but because design is such a universal thing, because everything in the world is designed and impacts us, right? Everyone has the expertise and the ideas to think about what an idea or an object or a system represents to them. So being able to incorporate a lot of other voices is really important to us because we learned from it, but also we hope it enriches the experiences of everybody who looks at the 200, 300 hoodies that are hanging up and says, oh yeah, that's cool. I like what someone did with that.
Yeah.
$20,000 for whoever can come in and identify 5 hoodies made by majority crew members. I'm kidding. But wait a second. I'm kidding, but we will be impressed if you could pick out some hoodies, because we were here, we did a lot of them, and some of them are really cool. Just saying. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it from team. This was a really fun conversation. And again, this exhibit is so worth coming to. Please check it out.
Yes.
And to wrap.
We could say that we're located in Midtown. At the corner of 16th and Peachtree Street. Our address is 1315 Peachtree. So check us out.
Nice, yes. And follow them so you know what's going on with these events, because I learned some stuff today about me and Sheree gonna be here.
No facts. The wine conversation, the posters, I will be here.
Cool.
Awesome.
We'll do this again.
Yes.
Cool.
Don't forget, y'all, follow Majority Report, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and we will see y'all next time. Dun, 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 dun.